Horizons with
Deb
and
and
Jim.
Jim. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, December the 7th, and we're back like we said we would be. So here we
Yes,
are.
and we
We're
want to
sorry we missed you last week, but we're here.
recognize all our veterans who fought in World War II because of Pearl Harbor. Today is the
Yes,
anniversary.
yes.
80
So,
years. Would you imagine 80 years?
amazing. So we recognize you, we applaud
Yes.
you, we love you all.
My
Mwah.
father and all his brothers fought there in World War II. So it's wonderful to recognize them. Uh-oh. Something happened.
We're here. We just kind of had a
Technical
little technical
difficulties.
difficulty. Right. Anyway, we're really happy to be back. We really hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Lots of turkey, lots of food. I know that I couldn't move for days.
Look at these pearls.
Well, I love my pearls. They're fun. They're so much fun. I've got
Beautiful.
so much beautiful costume jewelry and, of course, nice jewelry. But thank you, Jim.
In anticipation of Christmas, I have Santa Claus on my tie.
I see that. I don't think there's one tie that you don't own, either a holiday or a color. I mean, it's amazing. I love your
It's not
wardrobe.
straight,
It's
by the
fabulous.
way.
Let's see. Is it straight?
Yeah.
Come here.
Okay,
There you
thank
go.
you.
You're good. You're good.
Now we're ready. Any birthdays?
Well, I do have a list of birthdays. I'd like to shout out to, now, of course, this is Teresa Denibetto.
Oh, happy birthday, Teresa.
I'm sorry, Di Benedetto. I apologize, Teresa, for mispronouncing your name, but I know your birthday was on the 3rd, so happy birthday. Hope you had a wonderful day. Star Downey, who is
Star.
with our office. I love you, Star. Mwah. Jim loves you. We love you.
In Italian, we say buon compleanno.
Okay, lovely. And Anne Slocum, who is having a birthday the day after you start. Anne is a realtor that
Happy
used to be
birthday,
with
Anne.
us, but
Yes.
she is amazing. She stopped in the other day. I was wonderful to see you, Anne. Happy birthday, Anne. My wonderful, beautiful niece, Melissa Williamson. She's also my goddaughter.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. Mwah, my beauty. And Diana Woods, my cousin, gorgeous cousin. Mwah, happy birthday. I know your birthdays
Happy
are down the
birthday.
road, but we're acknowledging them now. We're in the month of December. And you know what? Celebrate all month long. Don't
Yes.
just celebrate on your day. Celebrate all month long. That's the way to do it.
My beautiful niece, Jean Marie, is December 18th.
Happy birthday, Jean Marie.
So
Mwah.
we'll have other shows before then, but
Of course. I just figured I'd just get everybody in there because I feel so bad when I don't acknowledge someone. And it's not that there's a lot of birthdays.
well, the beauty of her birth was we put her in a Christmas stocking the first
Oh,
Christmas. So we have
really?
photographs
Oh,
of
what
her
a-
little head. Her body's in the stocking and her head is at the top. It's so cute.
Oh, how adorable
It's so
is
meaningful
that?
to have children, babies at Christmas time.
Oh,
Naturally,
it's a mirror.
in
It's
recognition
just
of
a
the
beautiful,
birth of
beautiful
Jesus.
blessing.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. Gosh, what a way
Lot
to
of
look
beautiful
back and
memories,
reflect on your
yes,
memories, right?
yes. And today, what's in a name?
What's in a name? It's funny because Jim and I went back and forth as we do every week, deciding what we're going to discuss about. And what's in a name is a very interesting topic.
Well,
don't
Deb
you
came
think?
up with that, but I happened to write an article in my editorial. What does your name say about you in June? So
And
we were
that's
both
so
on the same
ironic,
wavelength.
right? And I didn't know he did that. So, what's in a name? Really, when you think about it, what's in a name?
How did your parents pick your name?
Well, actually, Deborah, my mother, I don't know.
She never really told you.
She never really told me, to be honest with you. She loved the name Deborah. She thought it had a ring to it,
Right.
Deborah, and it just fell into, and she just capped it. She loved it.
Yes.
But it was always my birth name, Deborah. In fact, my confirmation name was Anne, Deborah Ann, and
So you had no middle name at birth?
it was Deborah, just Deborah.
Deborah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deborah, and then my confirmation name, Deborah Ann, and. The same thing, like Debbie. People call me Debbie. You know, it's funny because there are people that I've met who you always want to say, is it okay if I call you by that? Because some people they want to be called Deborah
Right.
or Deb or
Right.
Debbie. As you know, Deb and Jim,
Right.
I'm not offended. You can call me Debola. You can call me Debbie Doo, whatever. But, that's fine with me. You're Jim, you're James, Jimmy. It just depends, what is in a name. It's amazing.
Well, the funny thing is, and I don't know if I told this story before, but my father was always called Jimmy. So they decided they
love
would
that,
name me
Jimmy.
James in recognition of my father, thinking that his name was James. But when he passed away, we saw his birth certificate, and his name was Vincenzo.
Oh, my gosh, Vincenzo. I love
So
that
the
too.
nickname for Vincenzo in Italian is Jimmy. So all those
Jimmy.
years, everybody called him Jimmy. He thought his name was James, and then it's so funny because back then you didn't see birth certificates very often. Now you
Right.
need them for so many different things. But
Right.
back then we didn't realize his name was really Vincenzo.
Right. Wow, I like that. That's interesting.
He always told us his middle name was Vincent, which would be Vincenzo. but his first name was actually Vincenzo on the birth certificate.
Oh, I love that though, Vincenzo. Very Italian. Love it, love it, love
But,
it.
you know, it's a very popular name, Deborah.
It is, and you know,
a lot of people with that name.
a lot of people do. Like I have my business card that says Deborah and my birthday. I like being called Deborah, but I don't mind being called Deborah, Debbie. Debola is something. It's funny because my mother used to I was a young girl. She'd say Debola, Debola,
As affectionate.
and it was cute, very cute.
Yes.
And just like with my family, Holly, my younger sister.
Yes.
I have my sister Lisa, my sister Holly, my brother David. David's out of the Hebrew origin. I'm also median history. I'll get to that in a minute. But Holly, my mother was funny because that's a Christmas name,
Right.
Holly. So she would sing a song. It was adorable. And I know Holly, you watch the show, she'd say, Holly, my little Pasquale, my baby Tamale, my little old Holly.
Did she
mwah."
make that up? Or is
She
that
did.
a-
My mother was into that. She
Oh,
was so
rhymes.
creative,
That's
and
cute.
she would just
Holly,
you know,
Tamale,
yeah,
Pasquale.
Holly. So Holly calls herself Holly the Pasquale, and it's perfect for her. It's adorable. So I just have to throw that in there because what is in a name?
Yes, it's cute.
You know, it is cute. Right?
Yes.
It's a Christmas song. It's very cute. You know, I did the origin on James. your
Oh,
name.
okay.
It comes from the
Hebrew?
Hebrew name Jacob and means supplanter.
Oh, okay.
Now, the gender James is traditionally used as a boy name, but it has become more common as a girl's name too. For instance, the daughter of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively is named James. There is also a very equal split between girls and boys named Jamie. I
Right.
don't know, a derivative of
Yeah,
James.
I've met some
Pronunciation
Jamies.
is James,
it's fun-
Jaymz, right?
And it's funny you should say about females because I have a cousin who married Pamela James. Is her
Oh
middle
wow,
name.
okay.
That's a
Oh,
middle name.
see?
Yeah.
And how popular is the name James? Now this is
Let's
really
see,
interesting.
yes,
I
I wanna
really,
know.
I
How
had
popular.
to research all this. It was just fun. Well, appropriately so far, the name for the biblical and royal connections.
Royal too. Wow.
So far, a name with biblical and royal connections. James has reigned over almost every other boy name since 1900.
Wow.
According to the Social Security Administration's rankings. From 1940 to 1952, it was number
Whoa.
one. It was number one.
I was number
Now,
one.
Uno,
Numero uno.
uno. Even when it wasn't numero uno, it was occupying the second, third, and fourth ranking, sitting pretty at the top of the
Wow,
charts.
I didn't
okay?
realize it was so
Yeah,
popular.
that's your name, kiddo.
Oh, thank you for that
yeah,
information.
Very, and then of course I'll do this real quick. Deborah, from the Hebrew's name, basically meaning bee, the bee. In the Old Testament book of Judges, Deborah is a heroine and prophetess. Oh, well, and
Wow.
who leads the Israelites when they are threatened by the Keturas. She forms an army. I mean, I'm really hot stuff. All
But I
Deborahs
like the
out there.
prophetess because you are psychic.
I am.
Yes.
I am. I'm very intuitive.
Yes.
We've had a lot of happenings, and when I feel something, it's amazing. And
Yes.
it just, I sense it and it's there. But anyway, the Old Testament, this is a name of the nurse of Rebecca. It goes on and on. I'm not going to bore you with that. But, you know, Google what your name
Yes.
is. It's fun. It has a lot of history. And, yeah. Oh, also, I have to say this. The most used name in songs, the most common name was Johnny.
Okay.
Johnny, my father's
Right.
name. There have been 46 hit songs with the name John or Johnny.
Wow.
From Johnny B. Good to Sloop John B. to Do the John Wall. I've never heard of that, but anyway. And while Johnny reigns supreme, female names have an edge on the male names overall 52 to 48%.
In music, I see.
In
Okay.
music, yeah,
Oh.
of course.
Now it's funny
So-
you should mention John.
I had a lot of fun researching all that. I just did.
I was in an office waiting room a few months ago, and I'm very observant. That's why I like to write. A man walked in, and the receptionist said, "What is your name?" So he said, "Baptiste," and he spelled it.
Uh-huh.
And then she said, "What's your first name?" "John." I said, "John the Baptist. Imagine naming your son John the Baptist." So I wanted to get his attention
Oh.
because I wanted to joke with him about that.
Oh, that is cute.
But they called me into my appointment, so I said, "Oh, darn it, I'm not going to be able to talk to him." So I went into my appointment, and then I left. And who's standing by the elevator
But
but
him.
John Baptiste?
Oh, my gosh. Talk
So-
about meant to be.
So I got to. I said to him there at the elevator.
You never
I
know.
thought it was so funny that your parents named you John the Baptist because that's a lot of
Yes.
responsibility for you. Are you an evangelist? You know, joking around with him, and he said,
Oh, my.
well, he did go to Catholic school, and he did take a lot of teasing in Catholic school about having that name. But it's so
I'm sure
funny.
you did. Yeah.
You wonder if parents really think of the result of naming a child like that.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Exactly. It's like, you know, everyone has like for instance, my cousins, there's Diane, Deborah, Jace, all three D's.
Right.
Now, my family, like I said, David, Deborah, Lisa. Holly was actually named from a soap opera my mother used to watch, The Guiding Light, years
Oh
ago.
yes,
The
my
Guiding
mother
Light.
watched that too.
She watched it all the time. She loved the show, and there was an actress by the name of Holly, and that's how she got it. So, but my name, I really don't know. It was just she decided to pick it.
She probably just
Yeah.
loved the name.
Yeah.
Now, to talk about some names in the Italian tradition, there's a name day. Every day of the year has a name day. So there is a
Yes.
St. James
Yes,
name day.
there is. I know
But
that.
my Aunt Nancy, that we've discussed before, she was born on the Annunciation of the religious holiday, the Annunciation. So her parents named her Annunziata. Now
Oh,
imagine
how
having the
cute.
name Annunziata.
Annunziata.
Cute, yes,
I
but
love it, but it's amazing.
well, as she progressed through school, it was not manageable because the
Well,
children
I
teased
I
her.
know, you know, kids
So
could
she
be so
shortened
mean.
it on her own to Nancy, which was
What an
you know,
interesting
yes.
short. I love that.
And then
That
my
is
cousin
fabulous.
Nancy, who watches
Yeah.
our show, was named after her mother, and her name is
Okay.
Nancy. And but it's just funny that you would have that name Annunziata. Now,
It is. It's really amazing. I love this story. It just
along
comes
with those
together
lines,
beautifully.
two clients of mine that I knew very well. One was named Pasqualina because she was named on Easter. She was born on
Wow. I
Easter,
love it.
and in Italian, Easter is Pasqua. Then her sister was named Generosa.
Pasqua. I like
Generosa.
that.
But once again, they didn't really like those Italian names, so Pasqualina became Lillian. So all her life she used the name Lillian, and Generosa took the name Jean. Okay, so about 5 years ago, they came to me. You know, we have to get our driver's licenses with the anti-terrorism
Right, right.
regulations. So you have to produce your birth certificate.
Yes,
Do
I
you
went
remember
through
that?
that. Yes, I had to go through that. We all do.
So now all these years they've used Lillian and Jean. So their driver's license had Lillian Jean, and all their records have Lillian Jean, but the birth certificate had Pasqualina. We actually had to change their names legally. Now they had to go through the court
Oh,
system
wow. Wow, all of that.
to
My.
change their names from Pasqualina to Lillian and Generosa to Jean. Imagine having to go all through that just to get a driver's license.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You got to go through the rigmarole, don't you?
Yes,
Wow.
it was really funny.
Wow.
So I always remember that. The poor girls had to go through all
Aw.
that procedure and go through the court system to
Oh
change
my
their names.
gosh.
That's called the real ID. When in Florida, we have a gold star that
Yes,
you can
the
use
co-
it. You can use it
Right,
for
right.
identification when you go to airports, etc.
You know, it's funny though because speaking of names, I came from my maiden name being Lopez to a Colalela.
Yes.
And so many people, including my father, may he rest in heaven, he was so funny like that. I miss him, you know, especially when we talk about fun times. He would say to me, Deb, spell your name again. I'd say, Dad, you know how to spell it. Well, you know all those L's. Colalel. He goes, whatever the hell your name is.
Colalella. To me,
But
it's
you know,
musica.
It is. It's
Colalella.
Deborah Colalella does the tarantella. I love, you know, you just break up the syllables.
Oh, you like
Cola.
your mother. You bring the tarantella into
See,
it.
there I go.
Got the
Yeah, it's like
rhyming.
my mom. But you think of Coca-Cola, and this is really the easiest way to break
Right.
it up. You know, if you want to do that, just think of Coca-Cola and say Cola, Lala.
Yes.
That's all. But it's funny, what's in a name?
Yes.
And I've been, believe me, Colabella, Codavara, blah, 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 Kalua,
Same thing with me. My last name is always mispronounced.
Chiaffi. I love that. Chiaffi.
I even got a Gaddafi once.
Oh,
Imagine.
Mr. Gaddafi. Nice to meet you, Mr. Gaddafi. Mr. No, I love a Chiaffi.
Now, one of my clients was born in 1925, and you know how they put the sex of the child on the crib in the hospital,
Yes,
female, male.
yes.
Well, unfortunately, her mother died shortly after childbirth, so she was on her name was Female Reynolds. She left the hospital without her first name. Imagine. So her relatives named her, which is very interesting, Kathleen.
Oh,
So she became
know-
Kathleen Reynolds after not having been given the name by her mother because the mother had passed.
wow. That brings up about my sister Lisa, and it just hit me. It's true. My mother could not make up her name with Lisa.
Really?
She could not make up what I think it was going to be Victoria, if I'm not mistaken, Lisa or Lisa Diane or Diane Lisa, whatever. But as it turned out, she left the hospital, baby Lopez, until my mother decided they had to go. It's funny because
Now
it just hit me. So it wasn't. Now it's Lisa Diana
That's funny.
Lopez Williamson. But it's funny how that happened because she
Yes.
just couldn't make up her name, make up her mind, and you know. But Lisa's a beautiful name.
Yes,
love
I don't
that.
think they allow you now to leave a hospital without
No,
the name.
no, but back then things
Yes.
were so different. And with David, he was the same with me. Just David was there, Deb, and
Yes.
you know, Strip and Holly. But I find it very interesting. And you know, we're into the holidays. You know, Christmas is around the corner. Then we have New Year's. Around the world, every year, billions of people celebrate Christmas in their own way, and in each country where it's celebrated, the holiday has a slightly different name.
Yes.
But where exactly does the word Christmas come from? The word we use today for the holiday is actually a fairly new one. The traditionally Christian holiday is a celebration of the birth of the baby Jesus in Bethlehem to Joseph and the Virgin Mary. The English term Christmas comes from the combination of words Mass and Christ, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica. The word Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, which comes from the Hebrew meaning Messiah.
Yes.
The Messiah in Judaism is the name of the expected king meant to deliver the Jewish nation, according to Britannica.
Yes.
Interesting. I just figured I'd throw that in there because we have Christmas around the corner. And now that I'm rambling on, I got so involved.
We came up with
Googling all
a
this
cute
stuff, you know?
song talking about names
Yes,
that many of you
yes.
might remember because it goes back to the 60s, I think,
I love it.
by Shirley Ellis.
But now if you don't know the name game, we're going to try to,
We're just going to do a couple of
I
names.
hope I don't mess it up.
The name game.
The name game, the name game.
Shirley,
Shirley, Bo Burley, Banana, Fanta, Fo Furley, Fee, Fi, Fo Merly, Shirley, Lincoln, Bo Bacon, Banana, Fanta, Fo Bacon, Fee, Fi, Fo Bacon, Lincoln. Come on, everybody, I say now, let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of everybody's name. The first letter of the name, I feel, blah, blah. Oh, forget, I'm going to screw it up.
Yes.
I can just see it now.
But it was such
Anyway,
a cute song.
I thought
And
about
then there was
that.
a little trick with Nick.
A little trick with Nick. Do you have it in here?
Nick.
Oh,
Nick,
yeah.
Nick,
There's
Bo
a
Bic.
little trick with Nick.
Nick, Bo Bic, Banana, Fanta, Fo Fic, Fee, Fi, Bo Bic, Nick.
The name
Nick.
game. Jim, Bobin, Banana, Fanta, Fo Fin, Fee, Fi, Bo Fin, Jim. Debbie, Bo Bibby, Banana, Fanta, Fo Fibby, Fee, Fi, Bo Bib, Mo Bear. I would go Fee, Fi, Fo Bibby. Oh, I messed it up. I told you I messed
Debbie.
it up. Debbie,
That's a fun
Deborah.
song.
It is. You know, that is a fun song. We'll sing it every day now.
And,
Fun.
And you know, it's interesting in the acting profession that a lot of actors adopt a different name because they don't feel that their birth name would be appropriate on the
Yes,
stage.
you're right about that. Yes, and oh my gosh, some of the actresses who have done that. I think Lucille Ball was one
Yeah,
who did
I
that.
don't know what.
I forgot her.
But I did know about Barbara Stanwyck. Now, Barbara is a very popular name.
Yes,
I
Barbara.
hear it
Well,
all the
your
time.
beloved Barbara. Yes,
my beloved
Barbara's
Barbara.
a beautiful name too.
But that was not her real name. You would think Barbara Stanwyck could be someone's name because that's such an unusual name. But her
Yes.
actual name was Ruby Catherine Stevens. Imagine.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So when she went on stage,
Hmm.
let me think, who was the one that told her to change her name? David Belasco, who owned a theater in New York City. There is a Belasco theater in New York City. He didn't think that Ruby was appropriate, for her to be using.
Yeah.
And at the time, a star named Barbara Frecci was starring, so they took the name Barbara from that actress. And then Stanwyck was the last name of a play at the time called Jane Stanwyck. So they combined
Stanwyck.
Barbara and Stanwyck
Together.
and gave it to her to use as her name, and she became
Wow.
famous, Barbara Stanwyck.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Now, I have a
There's so
cousin
many- I'm
who
trying to think of different names now that you said that. Different actors and actresses.
Yes.
They do that quite often.
I have a
And of course I
cousin
can't
who
think of-
watches the show, Cindy.
Hi,
Hello.
Cindy.
Now, her name is Cindy, and
Does she go by Cynthia?
no, it's Cindy.
It's Cindy. Okay.
Cindy Rose.
Cindy. Oh, I
No,
love
and her-
that. I love that.
Her family name was Nunn, N-U-N-N. But when she got married, she married Alan Kennedy. So she became Cindy Rose Kennedy. And at the time, Rose Kennedy was, very
Cindy
well known as the
Rose
mother.
Kennedy.
So every time I write to Cindy now, I put the name Cindy on the envelope, Rose in big capital letters, and
Aw,
Kennedy.
she
So it looks like Rose Kennedy.
I love it.
So Cindy, we love having you as Cindy Rose Kennedy.
I love that. That's adorable. What a great story. What a great story.
And you all know my friend Connie Francis.
Of course.
Well, she was born Conchetta Franconero.
Yep. And you told me that a while
Yes.
back.
And
I love that. Say that again.
Conchetta
Conchetta
Franconero.
Franconero.
Yeah.
Love it.
And when
Conchetta
she
Franconero.
started playing singing, her father made her play the accordion. Now you can imagine carrying that around with you. A young girl, right? Teenager with the accordion.
But my dad made me do it.
Yes. So
Okay.
Arthur Godfrey, she was going to be on his show, and
Uh-huh.
he said to her, we've got to do something about your name. And he told her to change it to Connie Francis.
Oh, okay. All
and
right.
and he said, ditch the
Get rid of it.
accordion, because your voice is so beautiful, you don't need the accordion.
Right.
And look at her career took off after that as Connie
course,
Francis.
yeah.
Yeah, so
And that fits her
interesting.
perfect. Yeah.
Yes,
I think it was also.
I love the name Conchetta though. I think it's so pretty.
It's so elegant, Conchetta. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Margaret, what's her name? And see,
Anne Margaret.
Thank you, Anne Margaret. She is one that has changed her name
Yes,
as well.
yes.
What it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other research? I see you have some notes there.
Basically, well, we all know what Shakespeare had said. You know, what's in a name?
Yeah.
That which we call a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet.
A rose
We
is
all
a
know
rose
that.
is a
William
rose.
Shakespeare uses this line in his play Romeo and Juliet. We all know that.
Yes.
A rose is a rose is a rose. So the many things that we can go on about names. Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Now, Marie didn't have an essay about names or a poem, but I still want to read
Oh,
Out of My
yes.
Mind and Into Your Heart by Marie Pinchmit. This would be a good Christmas present, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get it on Amazon.
That's right.
It's just so wonderful. But what I
You'll
wanted
find,
to,
knowing you found something perfect.
well, it's really about Ernest Hemingway. You know, we all know
We've
he's
been
such a
to his
wonderful
home.
author.
I mean, oh.
In Key West, right?
Yes. Oh, I'll never forget. What a great experience that was. It was me, my mom, my sister, and a friend of ours, and we spent a couple of days. It was wonderful. I mean, everything was just. He had a saltwater pool. God knows how many cats all over the
Yes.
place. But the history on him is amazing.
Yeah, he
so,
is. And the essay is called A Humble Writer, A Humble Man. Okay.
which he was.
Now,
absolutely.
what I didn't know was, you know, he had spent some time in Havana, and he wrote the book For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes.
But he acquired a boat at the time, and he named it Pilar, which is a Spanish female name, which means pillar, P-I-L-I-R,
Pilar.
and it's associated like with a marble pillar, you know, strength. And what I love about him is he actually allowed it to be used during World War One. His boat was used during World War One.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Now he also was an ambulance driver in World War One, a war correspondent, and during World War Two, the Pilar was outfitted with machine guns and grenades. So it was actually
Wow.
used in the war effort. So I thought that was very interesting about Ernest Hemingway, because we know that some of the backstories, but to think that there's such history about this boat, I thought that was very interesting. So thank you, Marie, for sharing that with
Yes,
us about
always. We love you,
Ernest
Marie.
Hemingway.
We've got to do something about me and Marie and doing some Christmas caroling.
Yes.
We didn't forget you, Marie. We're kind of timing is crazy. The days go by quick, but we will get together for sure.
Well, we know that Marie has requested a Christmas carol, which Deborah is practicing, so she will be singing it.
Yes, I will.
But I'd like to hear Marie play it on the piano also.
We'll do that for
So
sure.
we'll make that happen.
Well, I'm excited about our next upcoming show, Jim.
Yes, I am
Now, we
too.
can't say too much.
We want to pique your curiosity. It won't be this Friday, though,
No.
just so you know, because we're
We
planning
made
something
We
special,
made for Sunday.
and it's going to be over the weekend.
Right.
So just be in
So
anticipation.
you have to tune in for sure.
Yes.
For absolute sure. And basically ending our show
What a difference a day makes.
a day, well, you know what that means.
Tambourine time.
You know, I say it and I'll say it again. The best feeling of happiness is when you're happy because you've made somebody happy.
Yes.
We love being here with you. Always remember that you are why we're here, and we want you to reach out. Send us a message. Send us a song you want us to sing. Send us a topic.
We love your comments.
The comments are awesome, and we want to be there for each and every one of you. We love being with you, and we hope
Yes.
that today will bring you just as much sunshine
Yes.
as you can
Bright
see,
horizons.
our bright horizon
And
sunshine.
Bobby Miller has
as every
suggested.
day.
Bobby Miller has suggested a lot of great topics. So we thank you,
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes,
Keep them
Bobby.
coming, and
I
all of
love
you,
her
we encourage you to
topics.
give us topics
Yeah,
of interest to you, because we love to speak about
absolutely.
them.
And blessings you deserve today and every day. But on that note,
What a difference a day makes,
what
right?
a difference
Difference
a day makes.
24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain.
What a difference a day makes. The difference is you and you and you. You better believe you make a difference to us and everybody else. We really love being here with you guys. Can't say it enough.
Want to remind you to keep
Always keep your horizons bright. Mwah. Until next weekend.
Yes,
We'll
this
see you
weekend.
then.
We'd love to see you.